Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Nicholas Stern. I'm with Robert L. Stern Financial Services, and I am a certified financial planner here in Amherst, Massachusetts. For those tuning in for the first time, welcome. And for those who have seen the rest of the videos this year, thank you again for tuning in. Really appreciate the time. I really hope that you're finding some value out of this and some pieces of information that can really help make a positive impact in your financial life. So, for December, I want to talk about budgeting. And I think it's a good topic to discuss following November's topic, which is saving, because you can't really save efficiently without having, or at least a good understanding of how you're spending and what your quote unquote budget is. So I know it's kind of ironic, or it comes at a uneasy time about how to budget with the holidays right around the corner next week or this week. Um, but I think with January and the new year coming up, it's a really good thing to start considering. And if you're looking to save or you want to change some spending habits that you have, January is always a great start because then you can start the year off for 2015 off right. So two things I really want to kind of cover today in brief, which is going to be the importance of budgeting and understanding your spending habits, and a couple tips and tricks on how to identify and analyze and actually use a budget and or improve your spending efficiency. So why is budgeting important? Well, budgeting or analyzing your spending habits is important because it's going to maybe not guarantee but really increase the chances of you spending your dollars wisely and getting the most value out of each dollar that you earn, because that money that you earn is really important. You're working hard for it, so you might as well you want to enjoy it, but you also want to get the most amount of value out of it. I think we can all understand that. Budgeting does not mean you have to be cheap. It doesn't mean you have to be frugal. It's just a way to really, understand where your money's going. So if you're on a month-to-month basis saying, "Oh, I thought I might have had more," or I'm not sure where it went. It happens from time to time, but if it's a consistent thing, I think it's important to really go over, where your money's going, because, again, that money's important. It's your hard-earned dollars, and you want to get the most amount of value out of it. So analyzing it is going to allow you to kind of show you and help you identify different areas that maybe you don't want to be spending that much money on, or maybe you'd like to reallocate some of that spending in another area, or you can save more for the holidays by cutting out some things or adjusting some things or earlier in the year so that you have a little bit more to spend on your significant other or family, or even yourself, or travel, or any number of things that you'd want to spend money on. But analyzing and identifying will help better and improve your spending habits, because most people would be happy if they had more money at the end of the month, if they could figure out a way to maybe stretch a dollar, or didn't realize that they were spending a great deal in one area and kind of want to slow that down. So that's the importance of it. I think if one sentence were to describe it, is the importance of budgeting and understanding your spending habits is so that you can get the most value out of each dollar that you earn or have. So the second piece of this is some tips and tricks. I would certainly say, first and foremost, that writing it down or inputting it in Excel, that's something that I just probably do. I just like Excel. It's because it's very clean and organized. And you put it in on a monthly basis and do it for a year. And you could put on the left column or the down column, all the different fixed expenses that you have. That's a credit card, a student loan, groceries, your utilities bills, a car payment, insurance payment, anything that's fixed that you're going to pay monthly, put it in there as a category and write it down. And even if something like that changes or fluctuates, like your utilities up and down, once you see that number, you're going to say, oh, wow, I didn't realize, you know what you're paying, but you didn't realize how much it was, or maybe it's something that you can cut down. And it'll also show you that here's what your income is, and here's what your expenses are, and if you're netting in the positive or negative or just breaking even. Because maybe you think but you don't really know, and the only way to really get that is to write it down or put it in Excel and show yourself. For example, something that I do is I do each month, and I did the entire 2014, and I have all my fixed expenses. So I have my income, and then I have all my monthly expenses, and I want to make sure that I'm having a positive, net at the end of the month. And that includes saving for a 401k or any other employer-sponsored retirement plan, or even your own savings account. Seeing all these different expenses are going to show you maybe you didn't think you had it. It could be more positive, or you didn't think you have as much as you actually do, and then you could say, oh well, I want to save for this vacation or this item, or I want to save for my future. Now so you can start putting money away. So I think writing it down and analyzing it, and then that'll also really help identify what areas which you may know already, that you're spending a lot in, and you might be able to change that or tone it down or find ways to, decrease that amount. So for me, for example, I'm a person who shops at the grocery store more than I want to go out to eat. So I'm always looking for ways to kind of reduce or keep the grocery bill low. And while I'm not couponing like in those commercials, I definitely look for value. So, if chicken is having a good sale on the price per pound, I'll try to buy a couple extra so that I can, I'll put it in the freezer, and I can save a little money that way. So it might be a little bit more upfront, but over time it's going to save you those dollars. And those are just little things that somebody like I would look for that might be too detail oriented for you, or maybe you already do that. But anything that you can think about that's going to help reduce spending, so that you can either save more or have more disposable income, or more money to spend on your loved ones and significant other on the holidays, I think is a huge help. But you can't know that until you identify what your spending habits are and where your money is actually going. So I would certainly say, and really highly recommend, writing it down and being organized and being diligent about it, and do it for a long amount of time. And even if you haven't done that this past year, but you have some of your bills, or you use a debit card, or something has it automatically coming out of your debit account, then look at that and write it down, and then see, and then you can look, and I think you'll be surprised in how much money or how much extra than you thought you spend in a certain area, and then that'll help you realize that maybe, hey, I can change this or tone it down a little bit. But again, that's just my suggestion. But overall, I really think budgeting and understanding your own spending habits is really important, particularly for saving for the future. So with that being said, there's a number and an email and a website all at the bottom of the screen. Please feel free to reach out, schedule a consultation. There's no obligation. You can give me a call, you can shoot me an email, whatever's easiest for you. I hope you have a great holiday. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you next year. Yay! And I'll just say Happy New Year. So thanks again, and have a great end of December.